This is Lab 2.0 loop practice, and we're doing to-do number 5, so it's the 5th one. It asks you to write a loop that asks the user for 10 numbers, and then to print the average of all of the numbers that were odd. So I think what we need to do, if we're going to start this, is first we need to write a loop. So it's going to be a loop 10 times. Loop 10 times. Since we know that we need to loop 10 times, I think I would probably use a for loop. And most likely I'm just going to do like for, I'm going to use the range function and do range 10, which would give me, it'll repeat 10 times, 0, 1, 2, 3, all the way up until 9, so 10 items. Okay, so I'll do like for I in range 10, something like that. Every time the loop repeats, I need to ask, the first thing that I need to do is ask the user for a number. Okay, so I think that we can probably use the input function for that. And I know that since it's a numerical data, we're going to need to cast it. Cast to numerical data type. So either a float or an integer. So I think that's the second thing. Now, inside the loop, after I've asked the user for a number, I need to decide whether it's odd or even, because it looks like I only want the average of the odd numbers. So if the number is odd, add to a total. And that makes me realize that up at the beginning, I probably need a variable. Make a variable to store the total, to store the odd total. If the number's odd, add it to the total. I think next, since I'm only finding the value or the average of the odds, after I've added that to the total, I need to count the number of odds up by 1. So let's go increase the number of increase the number of odds by 1, and that makes me realize again that if I'm going to be counting the number of odds, I need to make a variable to store that. Make a variable to store how many odds there were. So how many out of the 10 are odd. So that's all within the loop, right? All the black is within the loop. At the end, after the loop, so I'll put a little line there. That's the end of the loop. Then at the end, I need to calculate the average. Of the odd numbers. So we do something like total divided by count, right? Because the count was, we'll do count in purple because that's what I wrote it up in the front. Count, total divided by count. And then finally, at the end, we're going to print the result. with like a little sentence. Okay, so I think this is the pseudo code, me thinking about how this program would work in English. If that helps, I encourage you to go, maybe convert these into comments and add them onto your Replit. And from there, you can start to write your program.